Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the Thursday banger. It's time for the Thursday banger, y'all. That's luck. It's time for the Thursday banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, man, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the mornings, man. I promise y'all, it's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, though, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. That's it. I'm not asking for a lot. Ask anybody that know me. I'm going to tell y'all to stay out the way every day. If I don't do nothing else, I'm going to tell y'all to stay out the way, man. I want y'all to stay out the way just so you can enjoy the rest of your life, man. Somebody like me, man, I missed 16 years of my life. Just imagine missing 10 years of your life. Just imagine missing 5 years of your life. Imagine missing 10 years of your kid's life. Imagine missing 5 years of your kid's life, man. Imagine leaving your parents for all those years, man. That's what I went through. I don't have children, but the people that have children, I was locked up with those guys, man. And I'm telling you, I see the looks on their faces when they come back from them visiting rooms, man. You do not want to get locked up and have to get a visit and have to see your kids in that visiting room, man. You don't want to have to put your kids coming in that place, getting searched, getting pat down, watching them watch their mom get searched and all of that madness, man. Just because you was on the street messing up. You know they love you. You know they coming up there, man. But don't put your kids through that, man. We put our kids through so much by leaving them, then getting them to come up to the prison to see us. Kids go through so much, they don't forget none of that stuff, man. Stay out here right now, man. Stay out here right now. You someone with children, man, turn your life around. I'm letting you know now, man. Stop the cycle, man. Because if you get locked up, what's going to happen to your child that's like 10 years old and you got 8 years to do, 9 years to do, man? Majority of the time, he's going to grow up just like his pops, man. So let's stop the cycle. Stay out here and teach him right. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all, man. That's it, man. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the Thursday banger. So what I need y'all to do with this one, like, subscribe to me. Let's get it. Let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called Pops Was a Boy. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation. When we are where people, we are in penitentiary, man, where crazy things happen all the time, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Seen a lot of wild stuff. I seen a lot of crazy things, man. Man, when you get locked up, you're gonna have friends, relatives, next door neighbors that you're gonna see them at their worst in prison, man. Like, they could be messing with the boys. They could be a boy. They could be shake, rattling, and rolling. They could be addicts. It could be all type of stuff going on. You're going to run into people, man. You're just going to be like, man, I can't believe they turned into that in prison. But that's just how I go inside of prison, man. So with that being said, though, y'all, we're going to start on Sussex 2 on this one, y'all. We on Sussex 2. And I can remember, man, being in 2C for the 3rd time, man. This is around the time where I'm about to get transferred to Lawrenceville. I'm trying to get transferred to Lawrenceville. I'm trying to move right. I'm trying not to mess with the la-la. I stopped messing with the la-la, man. I had to do all of that just to get off Sussex 2, man. Like, going back to the, Sussex 2 days, people that's new to the channel, whatever the case, man, Sussex 2 just started getting, like, out of control, man. Like, it was nothing you can do. It was no more fun. Prison was supposed to be fun, but it was just like, they just took everything. They took how they did the rec. They didn't let us go to child no more. They built fences up everywhere. It was no movement. It was nothing going on. And then on top of that, they didn't even want you to mess with the la-la. How they gonna have all those dudes up there with all that time? They got a whole building full of people that got almost life sentences. And you trying to tell people like that they can't mess with the la-la? Man, that man, the investigator was coming through, man, hitting everybody off, man, putting it in the cup. Everybody was getting everybody was getting dirty urines, and there was nothing you could do about it, man. And like, if you somewhere that you want to get off this camp because you see that it's bad, you gotta leave the la-la alone. So that's what I did, man. So now that I'm in 2C, man, I'm taking it easy, y'all. I'm just trying to be cool. It's a lot of dudes in there on the same page. I have told y'all this before. When I'm on Sussex 2 and 2C for the third time, this is how the pod is. Like, this is on layback mode. Everybody's a majority, 50% of the pod is on layback mode because 50% of the pod has the idea of getting off this place. You know what I mean? So I got on the same wave. And that's what I did, man. I spent a lot of my times in the cell. I had a job. I would come out and work. Like, I just didn't do a lot, man. I just stayed out the way. I was all the way in cell 44, which is the last cell on the top tier, all the way in the corner. And I just kind of just stayed out of everybody's way, like I'm telling y'all, man. But I still had friends that I would talk to. It was dudes in there from the town that was on the same page as me, trying to get off that joint, man. But still, though, y'all already know, I know how to mingle, man. I get along with everybody, so I'm kicking it with a lot of dudes in there. So it was this one dude in there, though, man. He wasn't from Norfolk. He was from Tidewater, though, man, but I'm not going to say what city he was from. Now, this guy right here, we're going to call him Victor, man. Now, Victor was like a brown-skinned dude, kind of about a little bit taller than me. He had the regular low cut, and he was another quiet dude. Like, he was a quiet dude, but, like, he was one of those dudes that I seen on the compound. Like, he never was trying to get no money. He never was trying to do nothing like that. But he just was somebody that liked to play basketball and just stay out the way. You know what I mean? Like, he liked to exercise. He was one of those type of dudes. Like, he didn't work out as much, but he would go outside and ball, or he would run laps around on the yard. So he just was a regular dude that was in there. But once he came into 2C, he saw that a lot of us was like, everybody was chilling. A lot of the pods you go to on Sussex 2, man, you'll see a lot of maniac stuff going on. Now, they just so happened to start that microwave stuff a long time ago. They just so happened to bring that microwave thing up again. And this is around the time when I'm trying to get transferred. So, like, my pod had the microwave because we didn't really get in trouble like that. My pod was definitely staying out the way. Every now and then there was some few bad apples, and they wouldn't punish us for that because they already knew it was 50% of the pod staying out the way trying to get transferred. So we had the microwave game on the weekend. We only get it on the weekend, but we had the microwave game on the weekend. Everybody was chilling, man. So the dude, Victor, like, he moved in the block and he saw what everybody was going on. He saw how everything was moving, and he was like, yo, I guess he jumped on the same wave. Now, he moved downstairs in cell 4 with this old head from Richmond. He used to be in the cell with him. The old head from Richmond used to rock with him like crazy. You know what I mean? Make sure he's straight, look out for him, give him good advice, all of that, man. So I used to come out and holler at them sometimes, like when I'm working, because I used to work the night shift. So after I finished cleaning the showers, like, I would go downstairs and like kind of stand by their door sometimes, kick it with them, or I'll go upstairs and kick it with my other homeboys. Like, it depends. Like, but I would kick it with a lot of people. So when I used to go to their door, like, Victor used to always be like, man, he trying to, get on the same type of time. He was like, his annual review was in April. My annual review was in March. Now, he was going up right after me. Now, the annual review is the thing that y'all know we got to go through after you go a year charge free. Then you go to your annual review. Then they'll let you get transferred to level 3. They'll drop your level to a 3. So he was going up right after me. So he was like, man, for real, it worked out for him. Because he was like, when he got out the hole last year, he was like, that's when his year started over. So he was like, he been charge free since then. So he was like, man, I'm trying to get off this camp too, man. He was like, man, this camp in the way, you ain't never going outside. We ain't balling, we ain't doing nothing, man. I can't stand this junk wheezing, man. I used to be like, yo, this junk is in the way, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this camp is in the way, like all the way in the way. You know what I mean? He's like, man, I can't believe it, man. They got me in this place, but I'm gonna get off this junk. Like, he was on the same type of time we was on, getting up off that junk. You know what I mean? So after a little time, me and Victor had got cool. You know what I mean? I'll kick it with him sometime. I'll go outside. When we did have rec every blue moon, watch him hoop, because he was a decent guard. He knew how to ball. Decent, you know what I mean? He had a decent game, nice jumper. He used to hoop real good. So we used to be outside just watching him hoop because he used to hoop, man. And like, when they call rec, around that time, like, you want to go outside because it ain't nothing going on. I'm telling you, like, you would get in par rec. Like, it was pars. We would get in par rec because we was one of those pars. Like I'm telling y'all, we was staying out the way in the building. But like, for real though, man, even with us getting in par rec, just always getting fed in the building. Like, every blue moon, we got the yard. It was just like, man, I was like, man, I got to hurry up and get off this camp, y'all. So boom. So I can remember a time, man, where I had to holler at Victor, man, on some major important stuff, man. Like, and for real, it was crazy because I had gave him a 3-way once. I used to give a lot of people 3-ways. Like, my mom would call anybody I asked her to call. She already knew what time it was. Mom Deuce already know I ain't gonna put anybody on the phone. And she probably thought I was hustling on the side, like charging people. Some people I did, some people I didn't though. You know what I mean? So I had gave him a 3-way a few times. He taught me the joint, you know what I mean? So I can remember one time my brother had gave Victor a 3-way. So when I had got back on the phone, this was like later after he had gave him a 3-way. He was like, hey, look, who was that dude that you was on the phone with? I was like, man, I don't know, man. He was like, man, his mama was talking to him, man. His mama was like, his stepdad is on Lawrenceville, the place he was like, y'all trying to go to Lawrenceville, right? I'm like, yeah. He was like, yeah, she was telling him that his stepdad up there. He was like, man, they be dudes up there locked up with their dads. I'm like, bro, listen, you talking about stepdad. I said, bro, dudes be locked up with their real dads, bro. Like, You know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy cycle right there. He was like, man, that's wild. I ain't never heard nothing like that. You know, that junk was intriguing to my brother because he never been locked up. So he like, man, that junk crazy, man. Dude's locked up with they pops. I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, just to hear his mom talk about her, you know what I mean? Like, dude, pops in there. He was like, but she made sure she said step pops. So he was like, step pops, pops, or whatever. Like, it's crazy. So when I heard that, it was wild. So like, I didn't want to pull up on Victor and like bring that information, like try to act like I'm nosy. But still though, like that still was a unique situation though. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. So when I did get a chance to holler at Victor, I was like, yo, that was crazy, man. I was like, what's up? You got, I was like, who you was talking to? Mom Dukes. He was like, yeah. So what's going on? What's going on out there? He was like, oh man, you ain't gonna believe this. I'm like, what? He was like, man, my step pops, man. He was like, you know, he been locked up now probably like 8 years, you know what I mean? He was like, he been gone probably like 8 years now. He was like, man, you know, he fell back in like '01. I was like, for real, man? This is like 2008 I'm talking about right now. He was like, yeah, he fell back in like '01. I'm like, man, so he fell back when you weren't even locked up yet, because Victor got locked up. I think Victor got locked up like '05 or something like that. So whenever he got locked up, Victor was probably a little teenager, young dude, something like that. So he was like, yeah, man. He was like, man, he my step pops, but he raised me though. He was like, man, you know, my daddy passed. He was like, his pops passed back in the day. Like when he was young. He was like, his pops had cancer and his pops passed back in the day. So he was like, he ain't never spent no time with his dad. You know what I mean? His real dad. He was like, all he knew was his stepdad. You know what I mean? So he was like, man, that junk be crazy seeing him, man. He was like, man, because I ain't seen him in a minute. He was like, but him and my mama always used to be beefing and all of this, man. He was like, so like he didn't live with us kind of like his last couple years before Vic Dad got locked up. He was like, man, he used to be in and out. But you know, he still was a father figure to me, man. He was like, well, that's crazy though, that I'm gonna go to the place that he at, you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, what's his name? He was like, they call him B. Man, we gonna call him B. He was like, yeah, they call him B. I was like, B. I was like, oh, all right. I was like, no, I don't know him. He was like, yeah. He was like, man, because he ain't never come to Sussex. He was like, he got from straight from receiving, he went to Lawrenceville. But he was like, it's gonna be crazy. He was like, because whatever building he at, I'm gonna be trying to go to that jump though, man. I was like, man, look, Lawrenceville waiting on us, man. I was like, I can't wait to get there, bro. So you know what I mean? Like, he was excited about getting ready to go to a compound where he ain't seen his step pops in a minute. You know what I mean? Like his step pops, you know, like that's like a big bro. You know what I mean? Like, man, I want to see how I can get around my step pops, because the dudes I have seen, like they got major crazy family members like that, like a pops or uncle. They be wanting to be around them. You know what I mean? Because it's family. Like you want to be around family. Like you have the opportunity when you locked up. So that's how bro was feeling. Bro was feeling like, man, now that his pops is on Lawrenceville, he definitely got to stay out the way, because that's where he's trying to make it to, y'all. So boom. So fast forward the tape a little bit. A little time went on, man. Everybody in there trying to keep their nose clean. You hear me? Everybody's trying to keep their nose clean in there, man. I can remember a time, man, I had told Victor, man, like, man, listen, everything else is easy. Like, just don't put nothing in your light. Make sure you tuck your shirt in. Don't curse the police out. Just follow the rules that they want, like that. I said, now, when it comes to that la-la, I said, that la-la will be your downfall too. He was like, no, man. He was like, that was the hard thing of letting go. Because he know I mess with the la-la. He was like, I don't mess with nothing but la-la. I was like, bro, I don't mess with nothing but the la-la. I am the la-la, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But I'm like, bro, I had to let it go, though, because, like, Lawrenceville is a better place, bro. I'm tired of looking at these same COs. I'm tired of hearing stories from these dudes that come from Lawrenceville when they mess up, talking about how sweet it is. I was like, bro, I got to get there. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to make it everything in my power to get to Lawrenceville, bro. I was like, man, when I go to my annual review, I'm gonna tell her Lawrenceville. They tell you to put 3 choices down, 3 level 3s. They tell you to write down, and they'll like pick the one that you probably put at the top. But some people go in there and just put Lawrenceville. That's why I wanted to go, man. There was no other place I wanted to be. So boom. So he was like, I'm gonna do the same thing. So now my annual review was coming up. I'm watching dudes that went up in January. You know what I mean? These dudes that went up, they came and got them immediately, man. They came and transferred those dudes immediately just to see them dudes pack up and get ready to leave, man. I know that junk felt good, because leaving Sussex was the thing to do, man. I'm telling you, the smart ones got up off that joint. It won't no good no more, man. You know what I mean? Sussex used to be like Lawrenceville in the beginning, but it changed, just like every other prison do, man. So like, just to see those dudes leave, I was happy, because I knew my time was coming. My junk was in March. So when March came, man, like, it was crazy, because I said this before, like, the counselor, like, she knew me, like, this lady was a counselor in like all the buildings. Then she finally was a counselor in 2C. So she knew about me. She was a counselor in the whole. She knew me. She was a counselor in 4 building. Now she a counselor in 2 building. So when I finally went up for my annual review, man, like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, when I walked in there, she had a smile on her face. She had a smile on her face because she knew that I was one of the dudes that grew up in this place, man. When I got to Sussex too, y'all, I was 19 years old going on 20. You know what I mean? Like, I was young. I was super duper young. And I grew up on this place, man. Now this is like This is what, 7 years later almost, and I'm going up for annual review. I had missed 6 of them all in a row. Now I'm finally going up for my 7th annual review, and I'm charge free. When I walked in there, man, the lady had a smile on her face, man. She said, "Sit down, White. Sit down, White. I'm proud of you. Where you trying to go at? Where you trying to go, White?" I was like, man, whew, that junk felt good hearing that. I was like, man, I ain't gonna say her name. I said, "Miss Such and Such." I said, "Man, I want to go to Lawrenceville, man." She said, "Everybody want to go to Lawrenceville." She said, "Put other choices down just in case you don't go to Lawrenceville. Put somewhere else that you might want." I said, "I don't want to go to Greensville. I don't want to go in the mountains. I don't want to go nowhere else but Lawrenceville." I said, "Respectfully, I'm trying to get to Lawrenceville. Oh, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to Lawrenceville." She was like, "Well, since you finally stayed out of trouble, I'm gonna let you put down Lawrenceville 3 times." I put down Lawrenceville 3 times. Lawrenceville, Lawrenceville, Lawrenceville. I'm trying to go to Lawrenceville, y'all. So boom. It felt good walking about that junk. She told me to sign that paper. Sign on the dotted line. You hear me? Get me out of here, man. I said, "How long you think it's gonna take for them to transfer me?" She said, "I don't know that. Those are questions I don't know." You know what I mean? So when I left out the council office, everybody was like, "Yeah, Weezy. Yeah, Weezy." I came out that junk like I just hit a game-winning 3-pointer. You hear me, y'all? I was like, that one dudes. I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "You gone?" I'm like, "I'm gone, bro. Yeah. Transfer game. Yeah. Level 3 game." You already know. They like, "Man, that's crazy. I can't wait my annual review." I'm like, "Bro, I'm out." Now, the other obstacle about becoming a level 3 after your annual review, the hard part is that you still have to keep your nose clean, man. You still got to keep your nose clean, but y'all already know I'm moving right. So it's time for me to go. So when they called and packed me up, I couldn't believe it, man. I had just moved in the cell with a dude from Norfolk that I rock with. He a little older than me, but me and him had just became roommates because they was doing moves. And I was like, man, my homeboy wanted to go in this cell. I was like, man, I'm gonna go in the cell with bro. So I moved because I didn't really care because I'm getting transferred. Man, I moved in the cell, dude. As soon as I moved in the joint with him, man, I'm in the joint with him 2 days. 2 days, man. The lady came on the joint. I didn't even go outside. Everybody went outside. I stayed in. We in cell 36, so I can see the booth. If I just stand up in my cell, I can just look and see the whole pod almost because I'm on the back wall of the top tier. So I see the booth, I see all of that. So I see everybody. I went outside. I look, I see the dude from Richmond that I had rocked with. I was in the pod that I had left with. He was on the phone. So when I was standing in the door, I'm just looking in the door. I'm just standing in the door, just looking, just being nosy like I do. And I seen the lady get on it. I seen the lady come to the other side of the bars where she could put the joint at, and she called bro that's on the phone from Richmond. So he was like, he get off the phone, he walked to the booth, he was like, "What's up?" I seen her handing him some bags. She was handing him some trash bags. So I'm like, oh, so I knew, bro. I was like, "Hey, bro, you gone?" I was like, "You gone?" He was like, yeah. As soon as I said that John said, "Boop, White." I was like, "Yes." She was like, "Come get these trash bags." I said, "Oh my God. I ain't gonna lie, yo. I did a private Tiger Woods." So boom, I was super happy, man. I was like, oh my dog, I can't have stuff. I'm like, give me my jokes. So everybody outside is my word. They come back in. Everybody was like, yo, everybody on the door. I'm like, yo, I'm gone. They was like, everybody was like, "You gone?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm gone tomorrow, bro. You done out of here." So everybody was happy, man. So I went to go holler at bro. So so everybody was happy. I looked up, I seen Victor coming up the steps. Victor came up the steps. He was like, "You gone, big bro?" I was like, "Man, I'm gone, man. I'm out of here, bro." He was like, "Man, that's something right behind you." He was like, "My annual review next month." He was like, "Man, I hope they move me fast like this." I was like, "Bro, listen, your time coming." I said, "Don't forget, when you go up for your annual review, stay charge free still, because if you catch a case while you waiting for a transfer, that messes you up too." It's crazy in there, man. They want you to freaking walk on a dot. They want you to freaking walk on a tightrope, basically. That's what it is, man. So I gave bro the game. He was like, "Man, I got you. I'll be up there." I was like, "Man, listen, you gonna be able to hoop and do all of that?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be able to see my pops too." You know what I mean? I'm like, "All right, that's what's up, man. I'm gonna holler at you when you get there." You know what I mean? But I was like, just in case I don't get there, you know what I mean? I gave him my info. You know what I mean? Because bro was cool. The people I lock in with, that's what dudes would do back in the day. Like, you know, want no cell phones or nothing like that, joning around like that. So you would just give a dude your info, you know what I mean? Like your people's number or something like that. That's how they can get in contact with you. So that's what I did, man. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. When I walked out that jump that night, man, because they came to call me like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, it was still dark. When I walked out of that pod, that jump felt like a release day, y'all. So boom. I was super happy, man. I was gone. On my way to Lawrenceville, man. Fast forward the tape now. Now we on Lawrenceville. I get to Lawrenceville, y'all. They put me through the whole song and dance about my age. I gotta go to the building that's the freaking gangland. I gotta go there where there's massive members everywhere, but I won't tripping. I'm on Lawrenceville. So I went through that whole situation. I was there and everything was smooth, man, until they started going on lockdown and the red and the blue team beefing and Richmond versus the blue team, and just too much going on for me, man. I just left lockdown all the time. I'm in a place where I see that it's nice, it's sweet, and it's too much lockdown going on where I'm at. This is not how I'm trying to do my Lawrenceville bid. So y'all already know the count. I asked the lady, can I move? I told her to put me in 30 building where Hot Rod and them niggas was at. All my homeboys was in 30 building. Like everybody that I know is on this side of the yard. This side of the yard I'm at is 30, 40, 50. I'm in 40 at the moment. I gave her a nice speech, man. Y'all already know how I do. I can talk. I told her straight up, man. We was on lockdown for a riot. Richmond versus the blue team. She came by doing her rounds. I'm in like the fourth cell in the bottom tier. She walked by. I said, yo, this such and such. She stopped. I said, look. I said, man, I just got here from Sussex 2. I said, man, I've been locked down forever. You know what I mean? I said, I did 7 years on Sussex 2. I said, man, now that I made the Lawrenceville, they said because of my age, they moved me over here with all this madness. I said, listen, I'm not in a gang. I don't bang nothing, man. I said, man, listen, I'm neutral. So I'm asking you nicely, man. I said, my homeboys and my cousins, I lied. I said, my homeboys and my cousins are in 30 building, man. I said, I don't care what part it is. I'm asking you nicely. Can you just move me to 30 building? She was like she understood my pain. She was like, I got you. I got you. She took my name down. She looked at my door. She was like, I got you. I got you. She walked away. Also, boom. I promise you, man, I'm sitting in the cell the next day. Lady coming in and go, boop, white. I'm like, yo. She like, pack up, you moving. I'm like, moving? Where I'm going? She like, 61 pod. I'm like, 61 pod? I'm like, yo, on the other side of the yard? She like, yes. I'm like, man. I was like, what are you on the manager at, man? She was like, she's not here today. I'm like, man, this lady is a low down, dirty, rotten, crazy vato. But I don't like that though. I don't like that though, y'all. She moved me on the other side of the yard. I was like, man, at first I was super mad. I was ready to buck. It was all type of stuff going on in my mind. Because everybody I rock with is on this side. But I started looking at it like, yo, I begged the lady to move. But I'm thinking she gonna look out and move me though. She just moved me out the building. Like, I was like, whoa, that was crazy, man. So I'm on my way to 60 building, man. You know what I mean? I don't know what to expect. All I know is they moved the old heads over here and the young boys where I'm at, man. So I get over the jump, man. I promise you, man. I walked in the pod for the first time. People that been following my stories, y'all already know what it is, man. I walked into San Francisco. Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, that's not one thing that I heard people talk about. Now, I know there are boys everywhere on every compound, man. Like, in the world, every compound you go to in the world is going to be dudes that's super freaking shake, rattle, and roll, flamboyant wise. And, like, I know that's the count. But, like, I never heard that about Lawrenceville. I'll be honest with y'all. I never heard that about Lawrenceville. So when I walked in the pod and I just seen like 4 or 5 boys, visible boys, like, yeah, he's a boy. Yeah, he's a boy. He's a boy. He's a boy. And like, they all in this, like, you know, Lawrenceville was like free. Like, that junk, like, dudes in the cell, they door open, music banging, they booed up in the jank. I'm like, this junk crazy, man. I walked in, my junk just started going crazy on the low, like, but it's scanning in my mind. My junk like, like this. The scanner going crazy, y'all. So boom. I already knew what was going on. I'm like, I can't let them see me scanning like this. I'm just like, man, shh. Like, yo, man, I seen a dude I know from Sussex. I was like, yo, what's up, bro? He was like, what's good? I'm like, man, what's going on in this junk, man? He was like, man, I mean, you know, bro, this where all of them at. Kind of like, I said, man, why this lady move me over here? I said, I asked the lady to move me to 30, but this lady moved me way over here. He was like, man, you talking about me such and such? I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, she in the way anyway. She probably just was getting you out of her building. So I'm like, Lord, man. So I go up the steps, man. I see where my roommate was. Introduced myself to him. I scanned him off the rip. He came out good, you know what I mean? He was on Sussex with us too. You know what I mean? He was slightly a little older than me, you know what I mean? But he turned out to be like, that if I had to get a roommate, he was the best roommate that I can get. Because he definitely wasn't shake, rattle, and rolling, you know what I mean? So I put my stuff up, you know what I mean? I was like, man, that junk crazy, man. I was like, man, that junk wild, man. He was like, man, for real, you just got to put in to get moved. He was like, but they said they ain't moving nobody right now. He was like, 'cause I'm trying to get moved too. This is what my roommate saying. I'm like, man, this junk wild. So I walked down the steps, man. I'm like, this junk wild. I'm like, this junk crazy, man. So I'm just like, man, looking at everybody all booed up. And then I just seen this one dude that was like waiting for the ice. Like, you know, because I came in like afternoon time. It was one dude waiting on the ice. He was kind of tall. You know what I mean? I give him like 6'1", 6'2". He was kind of tall. He was bald headed. And when he turned around, like all I could see was he was tall. He was bald headed. He had his whole uniform on tucked in. You know what I mean? He had his shirt tucked in on the afternoon time. I don't know why. But when he turned around, I looked. He had like these eyebrows drawn on his joint. Like some, you know, like when people, you know, when the women draw the eyebrows, you know, like the marker joint. He had the thick paws. Like he had his jaws was huge, and I'm looking like, and that's how I knew he was a boy. I'm like, so he's the tallest boy in the block, by the way. You know what I mean? But like, I didn't want to say he was a boy off the top. Now that eyebrow stuff give him a way to be a boy, but he wasn't moving like a boy. You know what I mean? He was still like a man, but you know, like kind of fruity in the eyebrows though. Like, you know what I mean? So I turn around, I see him like, yeah, the ice jaw. He like, I seen the old head come from the top tail in the back corner. He was like, hey, BB. Hey, BB. Hey. Hold a spot for me in the microwave, BB. I looked up at the dude, the eyebrows. He was like, all right, come on, I got you.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes.